Hi guys, this is Brenna now. Just a heads up, this is my first webinar, so I am really excited, and just bear with me on this. If there's anything that pops up, Caitlin's here to help me as well. But let's see here. So we are going to go over Instagram success in 20 minutes a day. Again, I'm Brenna. I am the social media specialist for YogaFit, and I do all of the stuff that you see in Digital Stack as well. So when it comes to designing and those kind of template stuff. So we'll kind of dive into Instagram here and show you the best ways to really make sure that you guys are using the platform, A, the right way, and B, really making good use of your time when you're using it. So to start off here, I guess some of you might not even be super familiar with the app itself, and you might have your personal accounts, but just to kind of dive in a little deeper, Instagram has around 500 monthly active users, and it's really becoming the next sort of the social media platform that's, right after Facebook when it comes to what people are really going to for information about businesses and just an overall outlook on, what they're going for with what the community looks like at those businesses. So 36% of marketers are using Instagram for business versus 93% who are using Facebook. What that says is that the Facebook and Twitter as well is just really oversaturated with that kind of the marketing aspect of it, and so Instagram, we really want to utilize that as best as we can to get the word out there, get our business out there visually, using or showing our value, as well as keeping our audience entertained and just kind of inspiring them through the photos that we're showing. Again, Instagram is all about the visuals, so it's really crucial that we create content that goes on our pages that adds value to not only your business, but just the overall brand in general, and it'll help seek out not only your audience when it comes to just yoga people, but potential customers as well, and clients, or when it comes to members that we want to draw them in with. Again, seeking to inspire and entertain them through these photos is what's really going to capture their attention. And yes, there's some promotion involved, but keeping it very local and very specific to your studio is what is really going to draw them in. So first of all, we're going to go through the Instagram profile breakdown. What it is, obviously, I'm assuming most of you have seen this app at some point, and so you might know what it looks like but not know what things are necessarily on the app. So we're just going to go through a quick breakdown of what each tool is and how to utilize it to the best of your ability. So over in this is also the updated version, so when you're looking at this, make sure in your app store that you have the Instagram app actually updated. So up in the left-hand corner, we have suggested follows. When you click on that, there'll be a list of people that Instagram is really great because it will just find people that either are following similar pages to you, are looking for the specific topics that you're posting about, et cetera, et cetera. So when you click on that, it's going to bring you followers that either you can follow or just take a look at their page, see what they're doing, see why it gave you that suggestion, and maybe they're looking for yoga in your area. Maybe they are just yogis, and you can kind of, maybe businesses in the area that you can kind of collaborate with, stuff like that. So when it comes to suggested follows, just check in on that every once in a while. When it comes to setting up your profile, you obviously will get your name, your username, which is right at the top there, but making sure that that profile picture is the YogaFit logo with the white background and the purple is really helpful, not only to recognize a brand. But for people who are looking for a studio, when they come across that, they might think, oh, I've seen that logo before, or that's the one I'm specifically looking for. They're going to know it's a business because it's our logo. Everything is really consistent, and all of the studios will have that logo as their profile photo. Then we have the bio, which is right underneath the name, and then that one, this is the corporate page, obviously, but for the individual studio names, you can kind of take a look at, what other studios are putting in theirs. Having that 24/7 yoga studio for all fitness levels is a really good starting point, and then kind of branching off maybe, where you are. And, I know Northeast, for example, has free parking in this ramp kind of thing, just to get them a little bit intrigued and also give them a little familiarity as to where you are. And then also we have the tagged photos, or excuse me, up in the right-hand corner we have settings. So that's kind of, I know when you're working with adding the account, that's the settings button that you go to, the little wheel up top there. Over on a little bit towards the middle, we have tagged photos and saved photos. The tagged photos is obviously the ones that people are tagging you in when it comes to members from your studio. It could be community, or things around the community, different businesses that are tagging you when they mention you, that kind of thing. And then saved photos is actually a new kind of way to, let's just say you're scrolling through your news feed and you find a photo that that you just want to save. Maybe it inspires you or gives you some sort of idea of some sort, like I want to do this because this studio did it, like that gives me a good idea to do this. You can save that photo with that little flagged symbol, and those aren't viewable to anyone, just to you, and so you can go back, and it's kind of like a nice little folder to curate your ideas in. Then we have at the bottom here, we have newsfeed, which is that bottom left with a little, I guess you could call it like a little home button, and that's going to be where all of whoever you follow, those are where their photos are going to be. Then we have the search tool, which is going to help you search for other people in your area, and we'll kind of dive into that when we talk about engagement. And then we have the add photo, which is where you're going to go to posts, which we'll also dive into deeper. Notifications is that little heart, and that is where you're going to be looking at your notifications for when people like your photos, comment, that sort of thing. And then the last one is your profile. Real quick, I forgot to mention earlier, but if you guys do have any questions during this, feel free to leave that in the questions box, and I'll go over those once we are done with the entire thing. But go ahead and ask them as we are going. Just know that I'll get to them at the end of the presentation. So another quick thing is when you first log into Instagram, this little I guess coral box will pop up, and those are going to be new comments, new likes, and recent tagged photos. Just so you know, like kind of keep that in mind, keep a close eye on that when you do log in, to know that you have some activity going on, which is always great. So the first 5 minutes we are going to talk about intention. And with that, we really want to talk about what is your intention when it comes to what you want to get across to your audience. Some ideas I'm going to go through here. The first one is a group photo from a previous class. So let's just say you had a really great bar class the night before and you want to post a picture from it. Either a group picture like the one in the middle where it's more in action, or a group fun photo where you guys are all in front of the mirror, whatnot, in front of the sign, is just a really great way to show community. So you're showing the activity at the studio, you're showing the liveliness of just like the people there, and it really shows, I guess, from a person that's looking, has never been to YogaFit, it's showing them that come join us. There's a big group of us here, we want you here, like we're a family, that sort of aspect of it. Next, maybe a repost from a member at your studio. So let's just say Lucy comes in, takes a class, takes a picture with her friends, and she posts it on her social media account, that's why it's really important to follow your members, is because you can see that, and if they tag you in it especially, you'll get that notification, but you'll see that, and then you can repost that on your individual studio account, so that people are seeing the activity, seeing like the more personalized organic material that's coming in from those members, and that they're excited about it, and you are too, and you're showing that to potential members that are wanting to know more about the community family type of vibe that we want to portray. Another idea would be instructor member features. These are obviously using Digital Stack. Getting those photos, what's really important is getting nice quality photos into, especially with these member ones. I know member and instructor ones, a lot of the time they're going to be sending you the images, so making sure that those images are clear and they're showing a little bit of personality. It's really about showing them that not necessarily, they're not just about yoga. They like the outdoors, they like photography, they like different sorts of things that make them an overall well-rounded person, and that's what you can include in your caption and whatnot. But just having the photos in general be very clear and just good quality when it comes to those things is really important when they're the ones sending them into you. Then we have class and event promotions, so whether it be Yoga for Smiles like this one, obviously these are all on Digital Stack. Yoga Bar, obviously those types, there's the event ones, but then the Yoga Bar and the more seasonal type of ones, we want to keep those obviously used at the right time when it comes to seasonal, and those will kind of keep coming out in Digital Stack as the seasons progress, and we'll have all the classes in there as well. These are obviously more promotional specials, 1 week free, that sort of thing. And that's another idea. Obviously, you don't want to go too hard on doing this all the time because you want it to be organic material. But these are nice to throw in every once in a while, just to kind of break up the page, or maybe one day. I know a lot of you guys are obviously looking at your success calendars, and let's just say you don't necessarily have something for a day. Throwing one of these on just to keep the activity, and again, promoting your special of the free week of yoga is always an option. Also, another form of, I guess, community would actually be around the community. So when you're at an event, when, let's just say, in the middle, like someone else posted a community or a picture at your event, really searching for those and reposting those is really great, because it shows you that you're not just about staying in the studio. You're about getting out there and just collaborating with, whether it be a business, a fair, an event. On the right there, we have a sorority that came in, like having that community atmosphere in the studio and outside the studio. And then these obviously are just fun, inspirational quotes that you can repost from corporate, and I know some of them are on Digital Stack. So those are always good fillers as well. Obviously, I wouldn't go overboard with them, but they're fun on, like, especially in motivational Mondays, that sort of thing, to just kind of throw in there to break it up a little bit. So this is the next bullet point I have for your next 5 minutes, would be posting. So after you set your intention of what you want to show, whether it be following the success calendar or, if there's not necessarily something on that specific day for a success calendar, intentionally putting something out there for your audience to see. Once you determine that, you want to go on to the actual posting. So what we really want to strive for is quality versus quantity. Yes, you can have a ton of photos in your camera roll, and that's great, but making sure that one post for Instagram specifically is the best, is going to show the best, the event or the class or whatever it may be, the best way, but also that it's a good quality photo, kind of like I talked about with the instructor member features, having those clean, just overall good lighting, that kind of thing, is really going to make your page stand out overall and make your studio, in a way, more credible, and they're going to be more apt to join because they can see that they can see things clearer. Not necessarily a pun, but just it's easier for them to see the energy that's there when it comes to if you were to have a bunch of photos that are dark and you can't really see them or understand what's going on in them. It's just a lot easier when they are clear and lit well. So quality over quantity for sure. When doing that, I put an example up here of a photo that was taken at Northeast, and the photo on the top is actually the photo that was taken. It was at night, so it was a little hard to see, but using photo apps, I love the Afterlight app, so that's a really great one that you can download. I put it up on there just for you guys to reference, but using an app like that, there are a ton of them out there, but that really helps with, you can adjust the lighting on the photo after you take it, you can adjust the contrast. It's not really necessary to use a bunch of filters. That's not a big crucial thing, but making sure that the photo looks like a quality photo is really a good way to start off your page, especially if you're just starting your studio with a brand new look and feel for it. Obviously, using Digital Stack, if you need to go in and let's just say it is a member feature and you just took a photo of the member after it's edited to the quality amount that you'd like, going into Digital Stack and then putting that in the template and then downloading that so you can have it on your phone to upload to Instagram. Obviously, Instagram you can't post anywhere but your phone, so that's kind of that's why we have the download option on Digital Stack. Overall, it is a little bit of a roundabout process, but it's the best way to do it. It's the only way to do it on Instagram. So, and then creating your caption and having it be a fun, showing a lot of personality in your caption. It doesn't need to be, overdone when it comes to exclamation marks or anything, but having some sort of personality in there, being witty, being a little bit sarcastic sometimes. We want to show that YogaFit has personality, has fun, is funny even, it can be a lot of different things. Just keeping it on brand as well is important. So let's see here. Oh, and also tagging places and people. So let's just say, for example, this photo. If you are following some of these people on these members on Instagram, you can go ahead and tag them, and then they'll maybe share it on their page as well, which will gain traffic to your Instagram page. So right now we're going to go through an example of a member feature. So this would be a photo that a member, maybe you took it of them, or they sent it in themselves. It's a good quality photo. We just have to go in and kind of do a little cropping to it and put it in Digital Stack to make it post-worthy. So then we put in Digital Stack. We have that member spotlight template on it, which is great. And then right here we have kind of a three-step process as to how to post it. This might seem a little bit step-by-step, but it really helps when it comes to knowing what you should and should not do in these steps. So the first one is obviously grabbing it off of your camera roll once you've downloaded it off Digital Stack, and it's going to show that right in that first, the big box area. Then we have the next one. It's going to ask if you want to put a filter on it. We don't want to, especially off of Digital Stack, we want to keep it very on brand standards. So we want to keep it without a filter and just really keep it clean and the natural light colors, that kind of thing. Then the third step on here is to put in your caption. So for example, with this one, I have member spotlight with Caitlin, and I tagged her knowing that she is one of our members. This is for Northeast. So knowing that she is one of our members, we tagged her on there, and then have an emoji, keeping it fun, light with the emojis, obviously not overdoing it, but keeping it so where there's a little bit of familiarity and fun in it. After that, you can't see the rest of the caption, but we have a what keeps you coming back to YogaFit and then a quote from her on there. Also, right below, if you can see there, it says tag people. Once you're done writing your caption, you'll have the option to click on that tag people option, and that will bring you to here. And again, if you know the person that is featured, in this specific post, or if it's a class or something like that where you can actually, there are people there that are members and that are following you, or you're following them, go ahead and tag them at this point, and then their name will pop up there. Again, they'll get a notification from you then saying Yoga Fit Studios Roseville tagged you in this photo, Yoga Fit Studios, you know, they'll get that notification, then they'll have that opportunity to repost and, again, build traffic towards your individual studio's Instagram. Then I went straight to, from there, just showing it on the page, on Northeast page there. And then once you're done posting it on there, I go in and I'll click on the post one more time, and this is the last little spot there on this slide. And I'll go in and I will, actually in my notes, I'll have hashtags saved. So I'll have Yoga Fit Studios, yoga, Yoga Fit, yoga member, little things like that. People that are searching for those hashtags are going to find this post then, and it'll relate in some way. Then they'll be maybe a little bit intrigued. Who is this member? What does she belong to? And then they'll see where she is, and that, you know, what your studio is about. So that I put in a comment so that they are hidden from, or not hidden, but they are separate from the caption itself. It can get a little cluttered when you have the hashtags in the actual caption. So just commenting with those hashtags is easy enough for you guys. And again, when you, let's just say you use a lot of the same hashtags, you can always save those right in your notes, your notes app, and then you can just copy paste those into your comment section. The last 5 minutes, we have engagement. So this is where the search engine, or the search tool, I should say, down in the left-hand corner is really put to good use. So when you click on that, your screen will change, and it'll have a bunch of suggested photos that Instagram thinks you would like to see, videos and things like that are very related to what you're posting about, maybe like what you're hashtagging. Those same people are hashtagging the same thing. So when you're searching for those through those hashtags, something you might want to search is Yoga Fit Studios. Maybe when it comes to obviously our community hashtag is Yoga Fit Life, so searching that every once in a while. Then also, to make it more localized, searching the hashtag, let's just say, for example, Northeast, or let's just, for Northeast, it would probably be Minneapolis Yoga, hashtag Minneapolis Yoga, and the next one would be hashtag Minnesota Yoga. Those are hashtags that people are actively searching, and so putting those in your hashtag, I guess, caption, as well as searching them is really important, because let's just say I go on and I search hashtag Minnesota Yoga, and there are a couple people who are not necessarily members to any place, but they are doing yoga in Minnesota. And so by liking their photos and commenting on their photos, even if it's just not necessarily, you know, trying to get them to be members, but I'm more along the lines of just giving them positive feedback. If they have maybe they're doing yoga in their home, and so they hashtag Minnesota Yoga, and you search it, you find that picture of them doing yoga in their home, and you just say, great job, keep up the good work. They're still going to go back to see, oh, who is Yoga Fit Northeast? And they're going to look at your page, kind of get intrigued, and they might start following you at first, and they see the activity at your studio, and they might be intrigued to come and try a free week. So it's those kind of roundabout ways of getting those members through social media that's really, really neat. And it can, same thing with hashtag with the name of your event. For example, hashtag Minnesota State Fair. You could go through and find lots of people who were at the Minnesota State Fair, for example, and if you have a booth there, you are, by liking their photo and just commenting just with a really quick positive comment, is they're going to somehow, they're going to see it. They might not necessarily click on your page right away, but it will intrigue some people to go and just see what you're about. So having those kind of interactions with them is really important, and it's a great thing to take advantage of. Let's see here. the view suggested followers and photos. When those photos are going to pop up, that doesn't necessarily mean that you follow them or that they follow you. Those are just people that Instagram thinks that you would relate well to. So that's one thing that a lot of people have questions about is, you know, what are those photos and videos that are being shown to me? Why? That is why they're up there. So you can scroll through those, or you can search the hashtags. There's a lot of different multiple ways to do that. Also asking questions. So if you find someone, let's just say someone's on their free week and they post a photo from one of the classes that they took during their free week, you could go in and once you find that photo that they took, ask them, be like, how was class? How did you have fun? Like, really creating a conversation too is really important, because they're going to see that you actually care, and that's going to drive them to either comment back, and then it is a conversation on there, and then other people will see that conversation and be like, wow, she had a great time, obviously, which again, it's almost like a domino effect. When they see that comment, then they might go and follow you. So it definitely is, whether it be a positive comment or a question about maybe their experience, just taking advantage of that conversation in general is really important. Here. It's going. It's not going to the next slide.
Sorry guys, we're just running into.
It's a little bit stalled. But overall, those were the 20 minutes total. So if you guys want to ask any questions right now. Oh, weird. Well, that's the end. There was one more end slide that just said if you guys have any questions, that you can go ahead and ask them now. We have the question bar up here and ready for you.
So it looks like Carrie has a question. She's asking you, I know anytime you upload through any server, some quality can happen. Is there any way Digital Stack can post directly to Instagram to eliminate the less transfer, such as computer phone? Yep. Okay, so let's answer that one first. Do you want me to take that one first?
Yeah, Caitlin is awesome at Digital Stack, so she can kind of go through that reasoning with you.
So the problem with sharing photos directly from Digital Stack to Instagram isn't Digital Stack, it's actually Instagram. Instagram doesn't allow any other products to touch it or automatically post on its behalf. You have to do it directly from your mobile phone, and there's no other option for Instagram. I would say when you download the template from Digital Stack, do it on your mobile device. So log into, go to your server, log into Digital Stack like you typically would on a desktop. Go ahead and create the template that you want, and then save it directly to your camera roll, rather than building it on a desktop and emailing it to yourself, where yes, it can distort the value of that image. That would be the best solution today for that, just because Instagram doesn't allow it to link to any of the products, unfortunately. I hope that answers your question. It looks like good response, Carrie Dane. And then looks like Ashok has one. Do you want to read that one?
Sometimes I get notifications that someone mentioned YogaFit Linden Hills, but when I click on the post, I don't see YogaFit Linden Hills as a tag or anything on the post. So what that is when they mention you, it's usually in their caption. So I'm not really sure. I'm assuming that you mean that you click on the post. When you say that, are you saying that the notification does come up and you can see the photo, or you cannot see the photo? Because usually when it does pop up like that, it'll say Lucy Lou mentioned YogaFit Linden Hills in a post. Usually that means that they didn't necessarily tag you. What they did was they mentioned you in their caption. So whether it be in a comment or in their actual caption, they mentioned and put the @ symbol in front of the YogaFit Studios Linden Hills. In that case, usually when you just click on that notification under the heart button, that post will pop up. But overall, I think, Yeah, usually when it says Yoga Fit Linden, it won't show up as a tag, so it won't be under the tagged. It will just be under your notifications menu. So you want to make sure that that's kind of in that one, the coral box that I was talking about. It'll have the little bubble on there saying that you were mentioned. I can see the post. I don't see it in the caption either. Is it something from our studio? Okay, yeah. I guess I'm not. Usually, you should be able to click on that notification, and it should bring you right to that post. So, I'm not sure. Sometimes there could be the chance that they mentioned you, and then they changed their mind and didn't mention you, and maybe it gives you that notification. I'm not sure exactly why that would be, but in general, when they mention you, you should be able to click on that. So just keep an eye out for that, yeah. And if it keeps happening, just let me know, and maybe it's just a glitch at the time or whatnot. Awesome. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions? Let's see, we have Carrie Dane here. Is grid planning subject to poster, or is there any mass organization plan through digital stack images to create the consistency between studio fields? Minimal feeds, black and white feeds, making sure pages have organized feeds, etc. So that would be similar to the success calendar, I believe.
Yeah, so the planning grid subject to poster or mass organization through digital stack images to create.
I think it's like you're thinking a content. I think if I'm correct, you're talking about a content calendar type of.
Yeah, so Carrie, we put in a planner every month, so you'll see March here actually soon, but February is already populated. What we do is we suggest to all studios what they can share on a daily basis, or 3 to 4 times a week, depending on how often that you share. But as far as doing, mass batches of making sure everyone's posting the same thing and it all looks the same and it's all Yoga Fit, we tend to let our studios, because every community is different and every studio has a different personality, they have the option to select what they want to share any given day. So we won't ever do like a mass unless everyone has opted into a certain campaign. But for now, the minimal, I'm just trying to understand a little bit better.
So you're asking, okay, so if the feed itself is aesthetically pleasing, so you just want to make sure. There really is, it's kind of a day-to-day basis, and that's kind of what's cool about Instagram, is that it's kind of on the go in a way. It's Instagram, so it's instant. It's at that moment, or right after a class type of thing. So I would say keep it in mind, definitely, because again, having it be aesthetically pleasing is really important. You don't want to obviously have a bunch of the same types of photos when it comes to maybe like a purple overlay or something. You want to switch it up for sure. But that's something that you kind of, it's why we give you different options in Digital Stack as well, so that you can really optimize in the use of those and how it's going to look on your feed. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Let's see here. Ashok, you have, okay. So Ashok is asking what it means to promote on a post, or can we boost on Instagram like we do on Facebook? We haven't gotten into necessarily promoting a lot on Instagram yet. We're kind of trying to really hone in on Facebook first, but that's definitely something in the future that we will look into, and more than likely have a separate webinar on boosting and promoting specific posts through Facebook or Instagram. Any other questions? I really appreciate you guys coming on and for my first one. All right, I think we're good.
Okay, so we're going to head out here for the day. We hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And that Instagram is forever embedded within you. If you do have follow-up questions, always feel free to email socialmedia@yogafitstudios.com, and someone from our support department in marketing will be happy to assist you. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.
Bye, guys.